Hey guys, I don't care what sport you watch. This is where the best information is. We are examining the structural implications of LeBron James' latest triple-double record at age 41. While the narrative focuses on history, the tactical reality reveals a Lakers team attempting to leverage high-efficiency offensive production to mask significant defensive deficiencies.
Achilles while he was in Milwaukee last year before he got moved back to Portland. The fact is he's healthy enough to compete in a three-point shooting contest, and that's what he intends to do. I think that he has a good shot of winning. He's a two-time champion already, so we will see what happens as it pertains to that. There are a bevy of stories to touch on today involving college football and Trinidad Chambliss, involving some other stuff that's been going on, but you know, the order, of course, the All-Star Weekend in terms of effort, in terms of Team USA versus the world and how people feel about that, how people are against that, et cetera, et cetera. All of that stuff is stuff that we can get into as the show progresses today. But the first order of business is LeBron James. Thursday night began, with him and the Lakers winning 124-104 over the Mavericks. And it ended with him doing something he had never done and finished with something no player his age had ever done. James scored or assisted on the Lakers' first 23 points of the first quarter. His longest such streak to begin a game in his 23-year career. By the end of the night, he had 28 points, 12 assists, 10 rebounds in only 28 minutes, I might add, becoming the oldest player in NBA history to post a triple-double. 41 years, 44 days old, he passed Karl Malone by about 17 days. For the record, it was LeBron's first triple-double of the season and 123rd triple-double of his career, putting him fifth all-time. Russell Westbrook's number one with 207. Nikola Jokic is number two with 184. Oscar Robertson is number three with 181. Magic Johnson is fourth with 138. LeBron James is fifth with 123. And of course, Jason Kidd is sixth all-time with 107. There's a lot to touch on in regards to that. Let's see what sound we have with LeBron James speaking about what transpired last night. Let's hear from LeBron James.
The win, that's the most important, and to be able to do it and get the win that's what means more to me than anything. But been very blessed to play this game, play it at a high level, and was able to do it again tonight. The assist obviously is what I love the most, being able to get my guys involved. Throughout my career, I've always loved that more than anything, and being able to put the ball in the basket, obviously that's part of this game as well, to be able to score the ball. So I think what it means to be able to have your hand in three facets of the game, make an impact on those three, that's pretty cool.
It is, no doubt about it. 41 years, 44 days old. We've never seen somebody this great for this long. If you want to really, really talk about LeBron James and GOAT status, having that associated with his name, as I've said in the past, I'll say again, he is the GOAT of longevity. Nobody has been this great for this long, more so than LeBron James. He is the GOAT of longevity. Now, to me, interesting thing that I wanted to throw out to y'all about the GOAT conversation, because obviously anybody that knows me knows I do not believe that LeBron James is the GOAT. I believe that belongs to Michael Jeffrey Jordan. That's who I believe the GOAT in the history of basketball is. Obviously, we're not counting championships, because if that were the case, it would be Bill Russell and nobody else. So we know that. What is your definition of a GOAT? I'm going to tell you mine. My definition of a GOAT is you at your greatest against anybody else at their greatest, you consistently eclipse them. Period. I'm not saying that can only happen for one season. There needs to be some level of longevity attached to it. You need to have a career of excellence. But when I think about Michael Jordan, I think about a 10th-time scoring champion. I think about a 9-time All-NBA, All-Defensive player. I think about a steals leader. I think about an elite defender. I think about one of the greatest scorers, not the greatest scorer the game has ever seen. That's what I think about when I think about Michael Jordan. And it doesn't matter to me that he didn't catch Karl Malone, or he was eclipsed by Kobe and LeBron, or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar retired as the all-time leading scorer before LeBron James You look at what MJ accomplished in 13 years, it took LeBron over 20 to do that. And the stiffness of competition definitely matters. So I would look at people and I would say, yo, where I'm coming from is I want to see you at your best, at your absolute best, for a sustained period of time, and ask the question, is there somebody you know that's done that? Is there somebody you know that could eclipse that? He's Michael Jordan, man. It just wasn't even close. The greatest ever. There's no way around it. Absolutely not. I give LeBron his props. He departed from the game. Before he departed from the game, got his 10th rebound with 2:05 remaining to secure the record, and received a loud ovation from the Crypto.com arena crowd when he grabbed that 10th rebound. So it's really, really special to see, no doubt about it. And you give him credit where credit is due. He'll be playing in his 22nd consecutive NBA All-Star game. What do you say? I'll tell you the other thing that I'm really excited about. And I think it's important to bring this up because it really is important. When I watched the Lakers last night and I saw LeBron playing the way that he was playing, although it was against the Dallas Mavericks, without Kyrie, without AD, without Cooper Flag, bottom line is this. I looked at LeBron James and I started fantasizing because I started saying to myself, wait a minute. If he could be this player in the postseason and Luka and AR, Austin Reeves, show up, Lakers could make a run. I'm going to say it again. The Lakers could make a run. They could pull it off. That's how I'm looking at it. I'm thinking about them, and I'm saying they could do this. We can't ignore. Listen, Oklahoma City started out the season 24-1. They're 18-13 since. Denver Nuggets have dipped a little bit, even when Jokic has been back. San Antonio Spurs are young. No matter how formidable they are, you still get the impression they could be had. I got KD as an elite, bona fide number one option. But in the same breath, when you look at Houston, who could start 4 guys, 6'11" and above, you still find yourself asking, what will they give you? What is this about? You still find yourself asking that question. You really, really do. And I'm here to tell you something right now. The Los Angeles Lakers with LeBron James, with Austin Reeves, with Luka Doncic, if they're all bringing their A game, they could get to the conference finals. They could get to the conference finals. I really, really believe that. And I'm not smoking crack. I'm telling you what I feel. They could get to the conference finals. So I think that's something to think about, that's something to consider, that's something to pay attention to, which absolutely, positively we will. I'm not getting caught up in LeBron James, figuratively speaking, stat pattern. I'm not saying that's his intent or anything like that, but you're around this long and you don't have a legitimate shot at really, really winning the NBA championship. That's what some people are going to think about you, which is why they've labeled him that way as coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm not doing that. Because I look at the Los Angeles Lakers and I say, yo, man, they got a chance. They could make some things happen. That's how I view them. And I just feel that way about them. I really, really do. And I think everybody should as well. 888 Mad Dog 6 is the number to call up. It's 888-623-3646. You're listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show, Sirius XM, Mad Dog Sports Radio. I just think you got to think like that. Who can't the Lakers definitively beat? If they're healthy and their offense is clicking. We know their defense is porous. We know they ain't going to do anything defensively.
The statistical profile recorded in this matchup, 28 points, 12 assists, and 10 rebounds in just 28 minutes, presents a unique case study in efficiency management for an aging primary ball handler. At 41 years old, registering a triple-double with that level of per-minute productivity indicates a shift in usage patterns. Rather than relying on sheer athletic burst, the offensive engine is driven by high IQ manipulation of defensive coverages and precise distribution. The fact that James assisted or scored on the first 23 points demonstrates a complete domination of the half-court set, allowing him to dictate the tempo immediately and conserve energy for defensive possessions, although the defensive rating remains a concern. From a roster construction perspective, the integration of high-usage operators like Luka Doncic alongside James and Austin Reaves creates a complex spacing and possession dynamic. The transcript highlights a hypothetical or specific scenario where offensive pressure is the primary win condition. Tactically, pairing James and Doncic requires a disciplined staggering of minutes or a willingness from one to operate as a screener or spot-up threat in the weak side corner. The effectiveness of this trio hinges on their ability to generate high-quality looks against set defenses. If the Lakers are to make a deep postseason run as suggested, their offensive rating must reach historic levels to offset a defense described explicitly as porous. The lack of rim protection and perimeter containment means this team cannot afford empty possessions. Every turnover or missed rotation compounds the pressure on their scoring engine. Analyzing the GOAT debate through a technical lens, the distinction made between longevity and peak dominance is essentially a comparison of accumulated value over replacement player, VORP, versus peak player efficiency rating, PER, and win shares per 48 minutes. The argument for Jordan rests on a dense concentration of two-way dominance, scoring titles paired with all defensive first-team selections within a compressed time frame. This represents the highest apex of individual impact. Conversely, James' argument is built on the unprecedented extension of his prime window, maintaining elite assist percentages and rebounding rates well into a 23rd season. This durability allows for a different type of roster building, where the star remains a viable central hub for over 2 decades. Looking at the Western Conference landscape mentioned, OKC, Denver, and Houston, the Lakers' path relies on matchup exploitation. Against a team like Houston, with significant length, multiple players 6'11" or taller, the Lakers' lack of size and defensive versatility becomes a critical vulnerability. The strategy discussed involves overwhelming opponents with offensive versatility. If James, Doncic, and Reaves are clicking, they theoretically neutralize opposing defenses by eliminating helping lanes. You cannot double-team when 3 elite creators are on the floor. However, this glass cannon approach is high variance. In a 7-game series, coaching staffs will target the defensive immobility of an aging core. The Lakers' ceiling is defined not by their ability to score 124 points, but by their ability to secure defensive rebounds and prevent transition opportunities. Ultimately, this performance validates the concept that supreme offensive IQ can extend a career indefinitely, but championship viability requires a defensive floor that this roster configuration may struggle to provide.